What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Hello! And welcome to episode 32. What?
We are in
Early
the
30s.
early 30s. Great time to be in.
Cheers.
We're doing a little shoddy shot today, everyone. Need a little chaser with that one.
This is Kim and Kat Stay Alive. Maybe?
Maybe.
I'm not sure if Ketrin is staying alive right now.
We are a horror movie comedy podcast. So we're going to tell you about horror movies and make you laugh about them as well.
And we are going to spoil them.
Yeah, completely. You
So-
should watch the movie before you listen.
Unless you don't like
Care
to do
about-
that kind of thing.
Right. Listen
And
to
then you just want to
just listen.
Yeah.
There's no option where you don't listen to us though. That just so that we're clear.
No. Yeah,
you
no.
can either watch the movie and listen to us, or just listen to us.
Or listen to us and then watch the movie.
Right. All of
You could
those
play along with us.
are an option. Do you know what's not an option, Kim?
Not listening to us. Yes.
Cool. Great. So I feel like we've
So-
gotten that out of the way. Everyone is clear about the rules.
I'm Kim Burns.
I am Ketrin Porter. I almost said Ketrin Marie Porter.
That's not even your middle name. That's
Nor is it yours.
It's my second middle name. God damn it.
It's
According to the Church of We People.
right. Yes. According
It's
to
my second middle name.
no, that was weird. I feel like
That's
I was
funny.
just possessed by someone named Marie. It was very
Ooh.
And I do have a ghost story to tell today.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So how's it going, Burnsy?
Great.
I think when this is hitting our listeners' earballs,
I'm going to be
in
Bali. Ow, ow, ow.
I am going to be here.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you.
So excited.
Don't worry, I'm making Kim send me all of her emergency contact information. I will know every single place that she is staying, all of her flight information.
This is my first time traveling alone, so
Yeah.
it should be interesting.
I'm letting her go. It's a really big step for me.
I don't even have some things planned. I'm just going to go and then I'll figure some of it out.
Please at all times, remember our survival guide tips. All of the really important ones.
Yeah, that's true. I've got so many good tips to stay alive.
Yeah.
I've been working on my army crawl and pull-ups recently.
How those pull-ups going?
You know what? Okay, that's a lie about actually working on the pull-ups, but I have been working out my arms.
Oh.
So therefore, the test could maybe come at some point.
Do you know why it's easier for men to do pull-ups?
Because they have just an upper body strength that's more than ours.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was clear. If pull-ups were done with legs, women would be better at them.
That's actually, women are better at the bull riding thing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because actually our legs are kind of stronger.
And also our center of gravity is lower. Just so we're clear.
And because... and because we're all around better humans.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We love you guys.
Yeah. We're all friends. All the sexes and genders and
all of them.
People and orientations. Yeah, so work on that. I think there's also some important ones, like make sure you always chug a beer.
Now that I'm saying, I was just about to be like, yeah, by the way, if anyone has recommendations for Bali, let me know. But I guess I'll already be there.
You'll already be there
when you hear this.
Yeah.
I should have said that in earlier episodes. Damn it.
Yeah. I'm going to do some really cool stuff in your honor while you're gone.
Oh, in my honor? Thank you.
Just so that we're like both doing cool stuff.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Like you're going to do cool things for yourself.
Yeah.
Like in my honor. I was like, I thought you were like casting spells for me or something here. Like
I was like doing that too. I'm going to be casting
like
protection.
in my honor here. Like making some cool shit happen.
I'm going to cast some protection spells on you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, cast some like, I'm sure I'll figure it out.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be
I
great. You're going to have a fucking life-changing time. It's going to be awesome.
You're
currently having a life-changing time.
I'm starting to get slightly stressed because it's like coming up real quick and I haven't much started getting ready for that, you know,
right,
than doing other things.
Right.
So now I'm like, okay, really need to start hunkering down and getting ready to leave this country.
Yeah, you're like leaving the country. Like
I'm Audi 5000.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of excited to go because I go and I stay for a week in a villa and that's all kind of taken care of and set up and it's like a retreat. But then I have an extra like 4 days, I think, where I literally have nothing planned.
Oh my God, that's gonna be so fun.
So like I don't, you know, and I looked up some places, like I think it's like you can stay places that are for like $9 a night kind of thing. Like it's like, well, maybe I should look now. Maybe that was for like future times, but I think I looked for like I'm pretty sure it's real easy to kind of just get
Here's
stuff
the thing.
there.
Let's be sure that it's really easy to just get stuff there. Let's not do any. I think
I'm homeless in Bali. No, but I think it'll be cool because the people that are running the retreat have been there a bunch, and they're actually staying for like an entire month. So I feel like they'll have things to tell me to do.
Sure.
Some of the people that are going, like I think have been there before, or I think I'll just like meet people.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm kind of excited to just like wing it.
I love it.
I leave a week from. We're gonna do one more recording, so we're backlogging here a little bit. We're gonna do one more recording sesh a week from today.
Yeah,
and then I leave that night at 12:30 a.m.
Okay. Wow.
So I basically need to be ready then the day before. So
girl.
I have less than a week now to get ready.
Yeah, you have less than a week to pack, which is not enough time for Kim.
I've already pulled some things aside.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. If anyone needs an update on how many drinks Kim has today, she came in with 2, but don't be disappointed. She's somehow accumulated 4 more since walking in, and one of them appears to be a urine sample.
It's a jar of whiskey.
Sure. I hope it's a jar of whiskey because I just took a shot of it.
Jar of whiskey that you just had.
But it isn't a hipster mason jar.
One more. It's because I didn't want to bring the entire bottle.
Sure.
I was like, I need like a small holding device that will bring it here. And I can bring across LA.
Yep.
And that little mason jar was calling to me.
There you go.
I would have one more if Ketrin would have made me a cup of tea when I came in, but she didn't this week, as if I don't deserve tea.
You do deserve tea. I will make one for the second ep that we're recording.
Wait.
Good.
I look forward to it.
I mean, I hope you have room on your little little table there.
Thank God you've given me a table just for my drinks at this point.
Literally, it stays there always just for Kim's drinks, waiting for her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to hear about a movie that I did? Do we have it?
Didn't you say you had a ghost story or something?
No, my ghost story is the movie.
Oh, that's a real ghost story.
Yeah.
Do we have a thing? You know what?
What?
We don't have any reviews.
For shame.
For shame.
Oh my God.
We don't have any new reviews
you guys,
to sing about.
That's so upsetting.
I guess everyone hates us.
I guess. That's the only logical explanation.
So maybe if you wouldn't mind sharing with your friends or something.
Oh my gosh, do share with your friends.
That would be cool.
Your friends will like us. Most people like Kim and I. Like, Kim and I do a good job at making friends. I feel like I like you.
I like you.
And I feel like other people have told me they like you.
Most people tolerate you. No, just kidding.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
No, but I mean, if you listen, not everyone's going to like us. We get it. It's fine. That's cool. No big deal. But if you think they might, give us a share.
Yeah.
Let's
do it. Tell them to subscribe.
Post it on your social media or something.
Yeah.
Now we're just, I don't know. What are we going to
made us sad.
We got nothing to sing anymore. So just
all right,
quietly move on.
I guess I'll just talk about a movie then.
Fine, because
this was a mediocre singing podcast, but I guess now we'll just have to talk about and mediocre is being kind.
Yeah, so no songs for you today. I'll just sit here and drink my whiskey alone.
Ooh. Oh, Charlie Brown. I love it. Okay. I am loving Shudder, obviously.
Do I know what movie you're doing? I don't think I do.
You don't.
Oh, I love that. It's my most favorite thing.
No, I had I just wasn't really sure what I wanted to watch this week. And so I did the thing where I put up a bunch and was like, have you seen any of these? And now you don't know which one I'm going to talk about. Yeah. But I am fucking loving Shudder. No, Shudder is not sponsoring us. We are not getting paid to talk about it. I just love it. And it's just like there's so many fucking options that it's a little overwhelming.
I was really jealous about one that you put up that I was like, fuck, I meant to put that on my list and you got it first, you motherfucker.
You snooze, you lose. We can maybe make a trade.
Ooh.
Well, I'll think about it. I don't know which one it is, but I may be willing to do a trade.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I am intrigued.
Do you have one on my list that you are wanting?
I kind of maybe want to do Jacob's Ladder.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not agreeing to anything yet because I don't know which one you're talking about. Which one
I kind of want to do Maybe You're the Killer. Was that what it's called?
I'll make the trade.
I don't know anything about Jacob's Ladder, actually.
Now Kim doesn't want to make the trade. So, yeah.
I need to look at that one first.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know. Maybe we'll make a trade.
Look, I can't on the spot trade. I need to do my research
okay,
first.
I understand, Google.
What am I? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I found a movie. And I'm going to warn you, because we've run up against this before. This is a haunty one. Ooh. So, which we love. We love the haunty ones.
Haunties.
But as you know, choices are difficult
Sometimes,
in haunty ones.
yes.
Just because sometimes it's like, if you're haunted, bitch.
Right.
What are you going to do about it? Same with like possession. Like, if you're possessed, you're possessed. I don't know what to tell you. But there were some. This was definitely like a slow burn that like earned some jump scares. I legit screamed louder than Eric has ever heard me before on like 2 separate occasions.
Exciting.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Scream? I just remembered a story I meant to tell you.
Oh, tell me. Let's do it. I haven't started
Before
yet.
we get in.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I went to this event. This is so exciting. I was like, I knew I have something to fucking tell you.
How? Okay.
I went to this event the other night. It was my friend, you know, Heather.
Yeah.
It's her. She's a dancer. And so she put together like dance videos or something like that. And it was really actually very good.
Oh, cool.
And I met a guy there
from England.
No, it wasn't. When I say met a guy, I met a human there.
I'm just fucking with you.
It wasn't like that. No, we were just chatting and somehow like the podcast came up and he was like, oh yeah, like cause he like worked in casting now and like, you know, he knows her through like acro yoga or something. He's like, yeah, I was actually in one of the Halloweens. And I was like, he like used to be an actor. Yeah. And I was like, shut up. Oh my God. And I was like, which one? Where's the bell? Do you want to guess which one?
That
was a pre-ding. Pre-ding. She was reaching for the bell.
Let's see. Which Halloween? Halloween. The one of the ones with Hallowanny in it. Which one had Hallowanny in it?
You mean a one that we do? Out of all of the Halloween?
No. The little baby Hallowanny. Oh no.
Oh, the little killer girl?
Yeah. No, which one is it?
It's adult Hallowanny because it's the one that we did. So it was Halloween, Rob Zombie Halloween.
Rob Zombie's Halloween. Yay!
For the remake. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, we did that on our podcast.
Holy fuck. Who was he? And did we talk about him nicely?
I would assume so because I don't know what we would have said badly. But he was Michael Myers' sister. Her boyfriend.
Oh,
that comes over and they're like fucking in the room. And that's what we were like. Oh my God, because that music's playing and he like introduces the mask, like the Michael Myers mask, because he like pulls it up as a joke for her.
Right.
And then like Michael kills her, puts it on, and then goes into the kitchen and kills him, like beats him with like a baseball bat. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
That's so awesome.
Shut up.
I hope he listens.
I was like, I'm telling the story of my podcast, FYI.
Hi, what's his name?
Adam Weissman, I believe.
Hi, Adam. Nice to meet you. That's so exciting.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude. We actually had good conversations.
You did a great job in that movie, Adam.
Yeah, I haven't sent him the episode yet, but I guess I should. I was like, part of me is like, should I listen first to make sure?
No, I think we just talked about him.
Possibly said bad about that character.
No, you should totally send it to him. I love it. That's so great. That's so much fun.
Yeah, isn't that exciting? Like I was just like, I was like, oh, which one? There's 47,000 Halloweens. Like, no big
And
deal.
I can't believe. I mean, there's one. It's the one that we did. That's so fucking
It
great.
was so much fun.
I love
Anyway, that was cool.
Okay. All right. So
Fun LA stories.
I watched a haunty, witchy movie.
Ooh, I feel like we haven't had a haunty in a while.
I
I'm
know. That's why I
excited.
did it. That's why I did it. Called The Witch in the Window,
Okay.
which was really creepy imagery. So first we'll play Dead or Alive.
Okay.
Mom.
Dead.
Dad.
Dead.
Kid.
Alive.
Lydia.
Alive.
Neighbor.
Dead.
Neighbor kid.
Oh, crap.
Neighbor's kid.
Alive.
Okay. What did you say for the neighbor, not the neighbor's kid?
I don't recall.
So guess again.
Was it closer to dead or alive? What
Was it close? It was
Am I getting
a dead.
I think the neighbor I said was dead.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we open on two parents talking about their son who is in the room. The parents are clearly divorced. And the dad has agreed to take the son to Vermont. They live in New York. He's decided he's going to take the son to Vermont to help him fix up an old house that he just bought.
And so it's only the parents in the room at this point?
No, the parents are in the room and the child is in the room, but like playing on his
So like how
just
old
being-
is he, I guess, was my main question.
He's 12. They actually say like he's 12. So I know for sure that he's 12.
Okay.
We get the sense that the dad obviously is not around very much.
Right.
But he doesn't seem like an asshole, like a deadbeat dad. But the mom is like clearly overwhelmed. And we can tell that the kid did something that was really bad. That made the mom be like, I don't know what to fucking do anymore. Like, I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
This is like, we're being a single parent. Like, I don't have another resource.
Right.
And she also is saying to him that she's like, are you flipping the house? And he's like, of course not. No, I'm just making repairs. And she's like, do you promise? And he's like, yeah, I'm not flipping it. And we get the sense that like maybe flipping houses was one of the reasons they're not married anymore. But we don't like.
It's like it's a point between
Point of
the two
contention.
of them.
Yeah. And at one point, the kid, she says something about the kid, and the kid who's like 12 is a shitty kid. And he's like, I hate you. And she's like, you can't talk to me like that. And the dad's like, hey, calm down. And I'm like, do not tell someone to calm down. Just come up with something else other than calm down. But he like kind of pulls her off to the side. And she's like, I can't calm down. She's like, you aren't here. And then she goes on this diatribe of things that was like very overdramatic, but also I was like, you're not wrong. Like she was like, I'm so overwhelmed. She was like, I don't know how to protect him from the immigrant.
What?
You'll see why I said that. From the internet and our president who hates immigrants and other shitty kids, and the planet is dying, and I'm a single mom and I just can't fucking do this.
I thought there were going to be things specific to this kid, but no, that's just life in our world.
And so I listened to it. I was like, yeah, that's literally why I like worry about having kids. Like she's like,
Terrifying.
I can't protect him from how fucking shitty things are
Power
right now.
to everyone who has kids out there.
I don't
You're
know how they're doing
little fucking superheroes.
I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, I just think about like the access that kids have on their fucking phones to shit.
Everything.
And it's just like,
There's so many things that I think about where I'm just like, good fucking God. If even just like cameras were more available.
oh
like
my God.
And like videoing were more available when I was like young, like would not have been okay.
No.
And then like posting to show other people, like just like all of those things, like it was just
would
not
have been
been
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And
And
in my world.
And it's like, it would have been bad for everyone. And I
Yeah.
imagine it is. But then I imagine, I totally understand why kids are driven to suicide from like online bullying, because it's like
It's overwhelming.
it's totally overwhelming,
And there's like no way to stop it. There's like no end
way.
in sight kind of thing.
And I was only like quote unquote bullied like for half a year of my life, and it was like a scarring moment that like shaped pieces of me to this day, kind of thing. And there is no documentation of it.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I can't fucking imagine how it must be. Because also, like, our brains aren't developed enough to process certain types of information until we're 25. Do you know that? That, like, literally our brains aren't fully formed until we're 25.
Yeah.
Which is just, I mean, think of all the nonsense you can get into for 25 years.
I mean, that was most of my nonsense.
Yeah. For sure.
And just bad situations. I was in a lot of bad situations.
Yeah. And now add a camera to it. I also just think about like hormonally the access that kids have to porn.
Yeah.
That's please
so unhealthy.
I don't have an issue with porn. I don't have an
No,
issue with
no,
people
no.
who do porn. That's not what I'm talking about. That's nothing.
But when a young person looks at porn and thinks that that's what sex is and or is supposed to be, like that is
not good.
Like not healthy.
Yeah. And also like especially I've had this conversation with Eric before. He's like, the only thing that kept me from like not dying in a chair, masturbating myself to death was that I had to work to get porn. Like, as did all of me and my friends. Like, we had to like be creative and stealthy and detectives about how to find boobs. And kids don't have to. They have no idea it's searching. Like,
and then it's also like desensitized.
Totally desensitized. Yeah, that's huge. And I feel like when I was insecure as a younger child, like if I had had access to porn, I would have felt so much more inadequate, felt like I needed to be and do things before I'd even had sex that I now know is like, that doesn't happen. That's not a thing. You don't need that's not, you know. It's anyway. So I totally related to this mom.
Yeah.
This mom, I feel like there are people that watch this.
Look at us. All those parent talk with Kim and Kat who don't have kids.
Don't have kids.
But we're like, I mean, it's real talk though. Like we consider it. Like we're definitely the type of people that would like think about having them before having them.
For sure. I've had that conversation with my mom too, where I'm like, did you feel like you like had a choice about having kids? And she was like, not really. And she was like, but it worked out because I wanted them, but I didn't really think about what it actually entailed to be a mom. And I was like, yeah, I feel like my generation, it's like we're very aware of what it entails to be a parent, and we're like, maybe not for me.
For the most part, or at least maybe the people that we know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, most of them.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm saying we have a choice. Like we could
it's not like pressed upon us.
We like can have a conversation about whether or not it is for us.
Yeah. Because
whereas like my mom was flat out like, no, that wasn't a conversation.
According to their standards, I'm an old hag at this point.
Yep.
Just an old single hag who will be alone forever and
geriatric
an old
eggs.
maid.
Yep.
An old maid.
An old crone. Okay, so she flips out and he's like, there's nothing around. We're going to Vermont, like in the middle of nowhere. Like it's going to be good. So now the dad and the kid are in the car on the road to Vermont, and they're not talking. And they pull off to the side of the road so the kid can pee. And the kid's like, oh, that smell. And the dad's like, yeah, it's fresh air. And he's like, no, it's cow shit. And he's like, yeah, but it's like fresh cow shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, this sucks. And he's like, there's nothing here. There's nothing for me to do. This sucks. And he's like, well, you've been banished. I don't know what to tell you. And people who are banished don't get to choose where they're banished to. Sorry. And he's like, I talked to your mom about what you did. And like, I'm not even going to go into that.
Go into it. I want to hear.
Oh, we'll hear. And the kid's like, well, I'm already disappointed, like in being here, like in the trip, you know?
Right. Of course.
And the dad said something really interesting, which I really related to. He was like, the kid that I used to know would have been all over this place. And I guess I'm disappointed too, because I was hoping to catch you on the 12 side of 12 rather than the 13 side of 12. And I was like, yep, those are two different Two different sides of 12. That is for sure. That is faux show. So now we pull up to this beautiful old farmhouse, like so gorgeous. And when we go inside, you can see it's like very old-fashioned architecture. Like the layout of the building is very like not modern architecture. For instance, like they're not bogged down by windows needing to be towards the top or like above the center of the line of a wall. Like some windows are like down at your feet and some are above and open like a door, like just all old weird stuff like that I live for. So they pull up to this beautiful old farmhouse and Dad's like, I bought it. And the kid's like, so you lied to Mom? And he's like, it was just a little fib. Not a big deal. He was like, she thinks flipping houses is gambling, which it kind of is. And the kid's like, well, what if it doesn't flip? And he's just like, it'll flip. And I'm like, I don't know. So then, like, they're standing outside of the house and outside of the truck. And then the dad's phone rings. So he kind of like walks away. And the kid walks in the opposite direction towards like this little lake or like a large pond that's on the premises, on the property. And the dad finishes his phone call and walks up to the kid. And the kid's like, are you taking her side? And the dad's like, I'm not taking anyone's side, but like you really, really, really upset her by what you were looking at on the computer. So basically what we now know is that she logged in to the computer as him and saw something that he had searched and looked for. And it was so upsetting that she was like, I can't fucking do this.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, there's so many things. What can it be? So now they're inside the house and oh my God, Kim, like
it was made for you.
It was made for me. Like I just was like, can we just get a quick like virtual tour of this house real quick? Like just pause in the horror movie and just like take a real quick tour. And the kid is just like, this place is so old. Do you think someone got chopped up here? Like just being a dick. And the dad's like, they'd have to tell me that.
Probably would have been my first question though too.
Yeah,
Not really being a dick. Just like,
yeah, totally.
How many ghosts does this place have? Who died here?
It clearly has all the ghosts. I mean, just by looking at it, has all the ghosts. I saw the funniest thing that made me really think. Did you ever notice? Someone was like, did you ever notice how like all ghosts are like old timey ghosts? They're never like someone from 1992.
Yes.
And I just kept thinking about like 1992 ghosts.
Can we put that in our movie?
Yes, a 1992 ghost that's wearing like hammer pants.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that great?
Yes. Please.
With that made me lose my shit because it's like, yeah, why are they all like Victorian?
Yeah.
It was just a very oppressed time, I guess. People were like, and I'm a ghost. So he's like, they'd have to tell me. But then he kind of like realizes like, oh, did they? Would they have to disclose that? And so they're looking around the house. It's so beautiful. And at one point they go into like one of the living rooms and there's like this beautiful fireplace there. And the kid like kind of looks up at the fireplace and he's like, oh my God, that smells so bad. And the dad's like, I'm guessing tomorrow when we clean the flue, there is going to be something that falls out of it and it's going to be dead. Like he was kind of like, this is old houses. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
And the kid's from the city. He's from New York City.
Right.
So he like lived in an apartment. So like there's definitely going to be things about this house that he's just never experienced. And so now they have kind of like meandered into the kitchen, this like old kitchen. And the kid is making fun of how bad of a cook his dad is and whatever. And the camera's on the kid. And we see behind him is a window, and outside the window appears to be a figure standing there. But neither of them see it, and it's kind of blurred. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at it going, is there someone standing there? And we can't really tell. Like it's totally featureless. Kind of reminded me in Hereditary.
I love it
when
it starts to slow focus in on it's like you don't see it at first. Like I don't know, like the way they like make the camera work.
Oh my God, it was like that
phenomenal.
First time that we see the mom in the shadow. So Eric, who fucking needs glasses, but like is like being slow on getting glasses, didn't see her. So I was like, that is all that much more interesting. That there may have been people who like didn't
Weird.
see her until I like pointed her out. Like I had to like show him.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Ooh, weird.
that was like
He doesn't have Hawkeye vision like you and I.
not like me. No,
And me.
but mostly me. I'm just kidding.
Katrin prides herself on her Hawkeye vision.
I
if
do,
anyone
but
needs to know.
as my dad says, it's gonna be a hard fall from grace
Oh.
because my dad was like, yeah. I jokingly said that to my dad one time, and he was like, I did too, daughter. Wait till you wake up on your 40th birthday.
No.
And I was like, what? Literally my 40th birthday? And he was like, oh yes, I had wonderful eyesight too. I was like, shit. But I look cute in glasses, so it's fine. All right, so now they meander out to the barn, and it's a fucking gorgeous old barn. It's just perfect, and I want to live there. And the kid's like, wow, this place is so cool. We should turn this into a movie theater. Who needs horses? And I'm like, well, I mean, movie theater is cool, but also horses are cool. And the dad is like, yeah, your mom loved horses. And we'll just put a pin in that. Mind you, they've been divorced a long time. So now the kid kind of goes up to his room. And these are all just cuts of them. Like, he's clearly showing him the house, showing him all the different places. So the kid has like a little scooter, and like the floor plan is like really big, so he can like literally ride his scooter down hallways and things like
it's
that.
like a razor scooter kind of thing.
Yeah, like a razor scooter. And the kid goes up to what will be his room, and he sees that his dad has laid out a whole bunch of his toys and like stuff that he got out of storage that I guess didn't fit in the apartment that he has with his mom. And the kid's like, why did you do all this? And he's like, I just wanted you to feel at home. You know, and he's like, I'm only going to be here for 6 weeks. Like, what is the deal? And he's like, also, this stuff is a little young for me. And the dad is just kind of like, fuck, you suck. You're the 13 side of 12. But then we see that there is one of those magic eyes on the wall, like a poster of those magic eyes.
Oh, that's just
where you
off
look
fuzzy,
at it.
and then you stare at it, and
Could
then
you
it turns
do
into
those?
something. Yeah.
You could.
Wait, you can't?
It was few and far between. Like,
Really?
I really was not. Sometimes I could see them, but I couldn't tell you why I was able to see it or not.
I loved them. What? That's interesting.
So you would love this because they actually put the magic eye full screen.
Ugh.
So if you were to pause it, you could do it, you could do the
I
magic
wanna
eye.
do it.
But like, I had to look up what it said because
It said something? That's fun.
I didn't know. I had no idea. Like, but I was like, well, I'll just keep going. So
I wonder what it is in people's brains that can do it or not do it then.
yeah, it has something to do with like, this is not scientific because I just heard somewhere. It has something to do with like relaxing your retina or like how far your
I
lenses.
was going to say, I was like, I bet it has to do with like relaxing control.
Which is why
And Catherine's like, I'm going to keep staring. I'm going to keep staring until it comes up.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm going to let my eyes like zone the fuck out
Yep.
now, and then
it's-
see what happens.
Guys, it's not my forte. Okay. I'm working on it. I'm in therapy. We're working on it. So he can see it, and the dad is like, I could never do these things. And he's like, what did it say? And the kid is like, I'm not telling. I'm like, you dick. But we later find out what I looked up, and this will be important. Though as I'm watching it, I don't know what
Yeah,
it
it's
says.
interesting that it's important if like, unless you can
when
do
I
it.
say
but
important, I would say it adds
it adds
something,
to it,
but
yeah.
like it didn't matter.
It's interesting that
I couldn't
like,
see it.
though, that like the only way you would know is if you could do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess what I read was that the first time he looks at it, it says Finn, which is his name. Mm-hmm. And so to me, that put a whole other layer on things where I'm like, I would like to know why this magic eye that I just looked at says my name. I mean, I guess maybe he like, and like my dad didn't know that it said Finn. So how?
Yeah, like how'd you get this personalized?
Yeah. So
Yeah, interesting.
yeah. So now we are looking at a chair that is on the second floor looking out a window, and the window is broken. Like down at the bottom, there's like a little hole in it. So let me explain this layout to you because it'll add to the scariness of it. So let's say you walk in the front door.
Okay.
Straight ahead of you, you could either go down a hallway to the kitchen that's like on your right, or on the left side of the hallway is a staircase up to the second floor.
Okay.
We've kind of seen houses like that.
Yep.
So if we go up to the second floor and we get to the top of the stairs and make a 180-degree turn around the banister, we're looking out a window that has a chair next to it. So the window that I'm talking about is directly above the front door of the house.
Okay, got it.
So you would be walking up the stairs away from the door, make a 180-degree turn, and walk towards the window. You're now walking back towards the front of the house.
Got it.
Okay.
And you said there's a chair there or something?
There's a chair there, like
a
a looking chair, like someone sat there. Like a looking chair.
Looking chair.
Because you're looking out over the
looking chair. Right. I've been
don't you have a
meaning to
looking
invest
chair?
in one of those
looking
chairs.
But like it looks out over the property, and there's that big pond out there and things like that. Beautiful fucking window. The window is like a domed window, and it goes all the way down to the floor. Just I'm living for this house. Like I just want to live in this house.
You gotta get out of LA, bro.
Man, yeah. So the kid scooters into another room. And it's this room with like a checkered floor. And we learn later that that's like where his dad's going to sleep. And it's like across the hall from his own room. And he's in there and he's just looking around and he hears like a faint thumping on the wall. And so he kind of goes up to the wall and like listens. And it's very faint because like even being up against the wall, he's like, I can almost hear it. But then kind of doesn't really think anything of it. And again, it's an old house.
Yeah.
So who knows? So now they're down in the basement and the dad is talking about like, this is the guts of the house. And he's like, and I'm going to be honest, like this house has like bad guts. Like it needs a lot of work. The electricity is shot. Like it's bad news. And he was like, and here's the heart. And it's got a bad heart too. And he points at the furnace and he's like, I found what was wrong. I fixed it and it still doesn't work. Like it's just, it's bad. So we got to figure this out kind of thing. So they're in Vermont and there's no furnace. So it's going to be cold. All of a sudden, lights out.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they turn their flashlight on. There's a dude there.
What?
It's the electrician.
Jeez. In the basement?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the kid, when the lights come back on, he's 12. He's doubled over, like panting. And he says the funniest thing. And it was like good acting because I believed it. He goes, I just legit died. It was so funny. It was really cute.
I'm going to do that all the time now.
I just legit died. So now they're talking to the electrician down by the lake, who we learn is actually a neighbor of the house. But neighbors are very far away. Like this is a thing where like your neighbor could be a mile away down the road. And the neighbor's like, so the electricity is cut. Like somebody cut it. And it's super fucked up and going to be really difficult to fix. And the dad's like, but you can do it, right? And he's like, yes. And he gets kind of weird. And the dad's like, you don't like this place. And he's like, nope, I really don't like this place. He's like, I've lived here all my life. And I knew the house when I was a little kid. And it was a good house. But then she moved in. And it was a bad house. And he was like, they didn't tell you about her? And he was like, no, they didn't tell me anything. And he's like, so there was a lady who lived here when I was a kid. She died in the house. And he was like, the kids in the neighborhood called her a witch, but it wasn't a cute witch. Like it wasn't like a fun, ooh, the witch in the house at the end of the road. It was like parents were scared too. And he's like, and now that I have kids, I get it. My mom was terrified of this house. And she was like, the woman who lived here, she had a husband and a kid, but they died in a hay bale machine accident. So like the machine that when all the hay is just in piles, it's the machine that puts it together into like, rolls of hay or cubes of hay. And
did their bodies go inside and become a cube?
I think so.
Oh,
they got cubed. And they're like, there's no proof of this, but like there's not really anybody that didn't think she did it.
Right.
And he was like, she used to sit in that chair up by that window right there.
The looking chair?
The looking chair. She used to sit in the looking chair and you could see it right there. And someone noticed that she was always sitting there and never moved. And one day somebody realized that like she hadn't even blinked. And so they called it in, and it turns out she'd been dead sitting there for 4 to 5 weeks in the looking chair. And the dad's like, what was her name? And the guy like doesn't even want to say it. He's like, her name was Lydia, but I don't like saying it. And it was really scary. They would show like a woman sitting in the chair, and it was like sometimes I feel bad for people that get cast as like really scary looking people because she didn't have a ton of makeup on. I mean, obviously she had makeup on. They did stuff to make her look scary, but I was like, you're a terrifying lady, and you are not wearing a mask or anything. You are just a terrifying lady.
They're taking that look all the way to the bank.
Ooh,
they are okay.
Yeah,
She's okay.
She was real scary. But the thing that really, did I ever take you to the Hampton Mansion at my house? So
I don't
there's,
think we went inside. Is that a thing you do?
you can go inside.
I don't
But
think we
the
went inside.
thing that I'm talking about is that there is a lady in the window that is said to like haunt the Hampton Mansion. And it is almost the exact same scenario where like if you're looking at the back entrance of the house, which frankly they had so much money it looked like the front entrance of a house. There's like big pillars and like marble stairs that go up to it, but right above it is this window with like a flowy lace curtain in front of it, and people say that you can still see a woman like looking out the window. Yeah, it's super fucking scary. I'll have to go take pictures next
Did I
time
ever tell
I'm
you
home.
that there's a place by my house in Philly that what was it even? It was like like a park or like it was like one of those random like museums that's like a room, like, you know what I mean? It's not like a museum in the center city. It was just like by our house.
Okay.
But turns out it was like part of the Underground Railroad.
Shut up.
Yeah, so they said it was
That's
haunted
cool.
too.
Oh, it's definitely haunted.
But
for
yeah,
sure.
it was like back in the day. It was like part of the Underground Railroad, which I thought was really cool.
That's and it fits because those would be old timey ghosts, not 1992 ghosts. Right. You know.
Yeah. So that we'll have to figure that out. Like, why is it a 1992 ghost?
Oh my god, what? What if you just like went to like an old house and there was just like a guy with like flock of seagulls haircut, an acid wash jacket, and he was just like, I'm a ghost.
Better than 1992. Let's go.
So
let's
good.
go 80s.
I love it. It's so
I mean,
great.
at this point, that's old timey.
It is, but you just like can't picture. Oh my god, we need to. Yeah, in our movie, we'll have an old timey ghost that is from the 80s and from 1992.
80s and 90s.
I love it. Now the dad is back inside the house. The neighbor has left, and he is taking medication. Like they're going to bed. They're getting ready for bed. Mm-hmm. And the kid's brushing his teeth, and the dad takes medicine, and the kid's like, what is that for? And he's like, I have a hole in my heart.
Ooh,
and he's
God.
like, I've had it, all my life, but I just discovered it, when I was in California. And so I have to take medicine for it. And the kid's like, can you die from it? And he's like, it's about the same chance of me dying from this would be like the chance of an asteroid hitting Earth. Okay. And he's like, but I still need to take medicine for it. So we're like, okay, cool. And he's like, I'm going to bed. He's like, I'm going to leave my door open though. And the kid's like, I'm fine. He's like, I know you're fine. I'm going to leave my door open. Mm-hmm. And the kid's like, I'm fine.
Oh, God.
I'm like, okay, God, the worst. I just want to I want to have I don't want to deal with an infant because I can't reason with them. I don't really want to deal with a toddler because I don't want temper tantrums. And I don't want to deal with a teenager. So basically I want a kid that's like from
5 to 10.
5 to 10, then goes somewhere else until they're about 30.
Or maybe just babysit.
Great. I'll do that. Because don't you also get paid for that? Can you get paid to parent your own kids? Is that a thing? Because I'll do
you
that.
Could foster.
No, they might. That sounds hard.
I kind of really want to foster. I feel very drawn to it.
Do you really? Kim, you would
very
be a
drawn
great
to it.
foster mom. You
Yeah,
would
it feels
be
like
great.
something like I would genuinely like to do. I did just read that book though, or listen, of Girl Wash Your Face, and they foster and they talk about it, and it was like,
it's intense. It's really intense
in more ways than we could have possibly imagined.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the kids.
Yeah. Oh,
it actually
really?
had to do with the system.
You're
She was like,
kidding.
I didn't realize the system was like this.
So fucked. It's what were we talking about where we were like, it's like the foster system with kids? I can't remember.
Don't recall.
It was
that
like
at all.
something. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We talked about it where it's just like, it's a broken system, but it's the best we have.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
it's not the best we could do, but it's currently the best that is available.
Like they got like someone called, and apparently this is very normal. Like someone called social services on them, and they seem like they're really a wonderful family. They already had their own kids, and like basically saying that they were, you know, bad parents or abusive in some way, shape, or form. And they said that is like extremely normal, apparently. And it's like people do it for many different reasons. Like, and it has nothing to do with the kids or
like, what could
being
the
good
reason
parents.
be?
Like, just like being like, I don't like those people. So like, I'm gonna like, it's like a good way to like get at someone, I guess, is to like call social services on someone.
Imagine?
No, it sounds horrendous.
Awful.
And then she's like, fuck. And then I'm putting my like all my children in through this, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. It was just, and it was like specific, like they were in LA doing it. Like, I don't know. It definitely made me like rethink some things, but it still was like something I've always been felt very.
Well, just so you know that Eric and I would 100% be your support team, whatever you needed. So just
saying, like, good fucking parent.
Yeah. Just know that would be available to you. And if you like were burnt out and you were like, I need to leave these children at your home, I am leaving. I am not telling you where I'm going. I will be back in 72 hours. We'll be like, say no more. We get it. So, you know, if that was what was deterring you, you have a place to drop them off.
Great. I'll do that with any children.
With any children, yeah, that's true.
And wherever they come from.
You do realize that I'm offering my services because I expect those services to be
Of course.
Great.
You got it.
We also know that my kids are going to be dropped off on your door more frequently than yours will be on mine, right? True. Shit. Okay, so now it's night time, and the kid is laying in bed. And he's got a little teddy bear. Like, that's where you remember that he's 12.
Right.
Because, and that is such an interesting age. Like, I remember that.
Weird
where
transition.
it's like, it's such a weird transition. I remember feeling the weird transition when I was 12.
I don't. That's interesting.
I really remember it because I remember that I wanted to, you know, I'd kissed my first boy and like I felt all of those things. And I had like pictures of boys on my wall. But I also like still wanted to play silly games with Allison, but felt like it wasn't cool anymore, but really missing. I remember it being like a very difficult time.
That's interesting. I never experienced that, like that middle school thing.
Oof, middle
also
school.
Also because I didn't go to middle school. Like my school went from kindergarten to 8th grade because I went to Catholic school.
Yeah,
so
I
like,
think that's very different.
Like I think kids were meaner. Like I remember like there were times where I was made fun of in like 7th, 6th, 7th grade a little bit. Then I became friends with Steph Dawson, so
and
we were cool.
Steph Dawson.
I just don't think I experienced whatever that weird middle, like literally the middle school, because it was just one school and then it was high school.
Yeah, it was tough. I think it was also for me that like I went through puberty really early, and then also puberty like mixed with my depression and anxiety at that age, and I just you just don't have the tools.
You're a crazy person.
Yeah, like you're a crazy person if you're not diagnosed with a mental illness at that age, and then to have that on top of it and to be like, I don't know I'm possessed. Like it just is terrible. So I felt bad for this kid, even though he's a shithead. So he's laying in his bed and he hears that thumping again on his wall, and he gets out of bed. And he's kind of like standing on his bed, like kind of just like observing the room, trying to figure out where it's coming from. The camera then goes over to his dad's bedroom, and we can tell that his dad hears the thumping as well.
Uh-oh.
But his dad just kind of rolls over and goes back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The kid is then kind of like looking around the room. Then we go back to the dad's room, and the camera starts zooming in on a mirror in his room. Zoom. Cuts to a scene of the kid screaming the next day because they've opened the flue and a dead crow fell out. But I was like, there didn't even need to be anything in that mirror. I'm watching the mirror and I was like clutching Eric's leg because he's like, there's not even anything scary. I was like, it's a mirror and it's dark. And I was terrified.
I do hate mirrors in the dark.
Oh God, it's so scary. So the next day, the there was a dead animal out there. The crow fell out. But they seem to be bonding. And like the dad is showing the kid how to like use a bandsaw and really like enlisting his help to like fix things. And there's like no internet, no nothing. So it's like the kid is engaged because he's like, I don't have it. I literally have nothing else to do other than help you. So they're like fixing stuff around the house. And you can tell that the kid is like enjoying himself and kind of like reverting back to that 12 side of 12. Yeah. Now the dad is in the kitchen on a ladder, like on a A-shaped ladder. And he turns a light bulb that had previously like not been working, because remember all the electricity was off. Yeah. And so when he puts the bulb in, now the bulb lights up. And it made that noise. Did you see this? The bulb lights up and he hears a sound from behind one of the doors. Now remember, this is a really old house, so it's one of those places where like every archway has a door. Like we don't really see that anymore in like newer houses, but like I remember my house at my parents', there were like doors where I'm like, we don't need a door here. We have a door butting up against a door. We don't need all these doors. And so it's also like, it makes it even creepier because you're like, what's behind here? You know, I can't see around this, blah, blah, blah. So he hears something and he picks up like the bottom of a lamp, like if it was a lamp without the lampshade on it. And he's like holding it like a weapon to like look around this door. And he comes around the door and it's just his kid. But they're both really jumpy, but they're both not wanting to admit that they're both jumpy. Right. So the kid's like, do you think there's something wrong with the house? And the dad's like, maybe. No. I mean, it's fine. Do you? And the kid's like, I think I saw someone in the mirror. And he's like, it was too fast. It was like the magic eye where like if you look too hard or the wrong way, it disappears. But like, I think I saw someone. Have you seen something? And the dad's like, nope.
Dad.
Then they walk over to the looking chair. And they're like, this is the spot where she died. And they're just kind of looking out, standing next to the looking chair out over the pond. Back to night time. And he's like, I'll leave my door open. And the kid's like, I'm fine. And he's like, but I'll leave my door open. And so the kid goes to bed, lights out, and he stands up on his bed again and looks at the magic eye. And he's looking and looking, and all of a sudden he gets a terrified look on his face. Oh, no. And so question number 1, where's my marker? Question number 1, what does the kid do? And what do you do? And again, I couldn't see what the magic eye said. I had to look it up later. Remember, it said Finn.
Right.
I read that it now says kill. Ah! Yeah. So what does the kid do and what do you do?
Okay. I go and wake up my dad.
Okay.
I mean, in reality, Kim Burns would go back to sleep and put a blanket over it.
Would she really?
I'm gonna go wake up my dad.
All right. So wait, why are you saying that you would do that then?
Because I'm trying to stay alive.
Okay, you're trying. Okay.
But like normal Kim Burns would just be like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. I'm gonna lay back down and put a blanket over my body.
I don't know if we've referenced you putting a blanket over things. I don't know if we've ever said like what that means. It used to be, you know, when we were young and dumb, everyone has their dysfunctional thing they do. I feel like that's the best way of saying it. Like their dysfunctional way of dealing with problems. Kim's was to literally just put a blanket over something and pretend it's fine. And if she couldn't see it, it wasn't there.
That is actually also a very Irish Catholic thing.
It is a very Irish Catholic thing.
Like Roy's just like, it's fine.
Yeah. Please rest assured, everyone. I also had dysfunctional ways of dealing with things. They just didn't create a catchphrase.
But my putting a blanket over it was strong.
Yes. The blanket is strong with this one.
The blanket is strong. Thank you, therapy.
Yeah. And it made a better catchphrase than all of the dysfunctional things that I had. Right. Okay, so
maybe just back in the day, but maybe I'd go wake him up to this day still.
Great. I love it.
I think it's hard 12 to 13.
I know.
I'm like, is he going to be 12 or is he going to be 13?
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to do one of the other too.
I agree.
God damn it. I haven't gotten enough sense of him yet. I don't think he's there yet. So I think he's not going to wake up his dad. I don't think he's going to really do anything.
Oh, I'm going to do a louder ding. That was.
Thanks for that.
Let me try one more time.
There we go.
Third time's a ding.
It.
I did it. Okay, one ding. Because
For me or for him?
For you.
Okay.
You went and woke up your dad. He was on the 12 side of 12.
Damn it.
And the only reason I would say that is because like he'd been bonding with his dad, things like that.
Yeah.
But he actually doesn't go in and wake him up. He just goes in and goes to sleep next to him.
Oh, that's
with
like
his teddy bear.
even younger to me.
I know, like with his teddy bear.
Oh, sweet.
So now it's morning time and the camera is on the kid and dad is waking him up, like, time to get up. And he's like, in a minute. And I was like, oh my God, that was me. My poor mother trying to wake me up every single goddamn day for school. I'm so sorry, Mom. I am so sorry. And the dad's like, it's time to get up. And he's like, I had the weirdest dream. I dreamt that I was talking to this woman and I think the woman was Lydia and she showed me pictures of what she was going to do to you.
Oh my God.
And he starts crying and the kid wakes up and he's like, Dad, there's no one in the room.
Wait. Who was saying this whole thing?
His dad was saying this, but the kid's eyes were closed.
Oh, I thought the kid was saying this. Okay.
No, the kid's eyes were closed. And when he hears his dad start to cry,
He wakes up and no one's there.
no one's there.
Got you.
What does he do? And what do you do?
Get out of bed and go downstairs, find my dad.
Okay. Do you tell your dad?
Oh.
What do I do? Go back to sleep. It's early. This can wait.
How early are we talking right now?
I mean, it's we're sleepy.
Is it 6 a.m.?
I mean, if a ghost is going
Is
to
it
haunt
like
us,
6 or
yeah.
10? Those
That's
are
going to change my
two
answer.
different times.
The
Is
ghost
it
can wait.
daytime or daytime?
I only get up for day time. But I also am asleep well before night time. So really, there's a small window that I'm prepared to deal with things.
So we're both gonna get up. Okay, we're both gonna get up. Are we gonna tell him? Yeah, I think so.
You are going to tell him?
Yeah.
Is he going to tell him?
Fuck. God damn it. Are you 12 or 13?
I know.
I'm right. I'm gonna go with yes this time.
Oh wait!
Yeah.
No! I'm having trouble hitting the dinger today. Hold on, it was one ding because this time he was 13.
No, I keep switching.
I know. So this time he was 13.
me.
So he gets out of bed. He walks to the window and he sees that his dad is all the way out in the yard, like using the bandsaw. And he like looks out the window and like his dad like waves. He doesn't fucking tell his dad,
Okay.
which was shocking to me. But then if I really think about it, I have had really fucked up dreams before
yeah,
where
this could just be a
like
dream.
I was between awake and
Yeah,
not.
me too.
Like I actually had one that like there's nothing more boring than telling people about your dreams, so I won't go into it. But I know that I've told you before where like it fucked me up for like 24 hours because it was such the curtain between awake and asleep was like so thin that I like thought I was going crazy for like 24 hours. I never told you this story.
I don't know.
It's,
You'll have to be more specific.
maybe I'll tell it in a postmortem when we have more time. I don't need to bore
I
you
know.
with
I was
that.
like,
Yeah.
is it interesting? Do I want to hear it?
I mean, it fucked me up pretty badly, and I've never had an experience like it. It was since or before, so it was. No, so that's the only reason I'm saying like there could be a scenario where
Just
it's like
tell
that was
me.
a fucked up.
I don't think it's not interesting to tell people your dreams.
Really?
Is it
Okay.
not? Is that boring?
Well, I think sometimes people like the experience of the dream.
Oh, like
is
it can't be
much more-
translated.
Right. I basically. So, and I will
Well,
never,
let's find out. I'll let you know at the end.
Yeah, tell me if it's
I'll
boring.
judge you.
Because it was scarring for me. So, all right. So,
But then I get to.
you get to tell me if
I
it's
get
boring
to-
or not.
I also get to tell my own.
Okay. So,
Sorry to everyone listening who's like, none of us want to hear your dreams. You were right, Katrin. They're boring as fuck.
So, I'll say POV or bird's eye. And that means like either I'm looking at it or I'm watching myself.
Right.
So POV, I'm standing in this expansive green field where there is a single tree in front of me. And there is this
is starting to sound familiar.
Chris Harrison type person in that he speaks in a very presentational way to me.
Right, okay.
And he's holding a glass of white wine.
Oh,
and
you
he's
lost me.
walking towards the tree. And he says, "This day would be perfect, wasn't it? Or this day would be perfect, isn't it? If it wasn't for the fire ants." And he lays down in front of the tree, kind of like in the Burt Reynolds pose where he's like looking at the camera. But he lays down on a bed of fire ants and they start crawling up over him as he's smiling. Cut to, I'm standing on my parents' bed in the dark with a long nightgown on and there's bugs crawling all up my legs and I'm trying to like get them off of me.
Icky.
Bam, I wake up and I'm laying in the exact position that I fell asleep in and I look at my arm and I think to myself, I'm going to spontaneously combust. And my arm lights on fire and my head lights on fire. And then I actually wake up in the position that I was just asleep in.
Right.
But my head was still hot. Like the sensation of my head being on fire stayed for like a good 5 minutes. And that was where I was like, I can't move. Like I'm my head's on fire and I can't move. And I'm also awake. Am I awake? And that fucked me up for like 48 hours.
Yeah.
So that was my dream.
I know you have a big fear of spontaneous combustion.
I do. Well, it's just why? Why do they combust? Who? Somebody solve this mystery. Just tell me why.
I think that's an interesting dream because it's scary. It was like a horror movie.
Really fucking scary. Okay, so
my turn, bitch.
Oh, you actually had a dream to tell me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got
Yes,
two.
please. I thought you were saying like when you had a dream, you were going to get to tell. I didn't realize you actually had one. Let's hear it.
Mine are, so I have two recurring dreams because to me those are scary.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't have that many. Like I don't have a lot of scary dreams, knock on wood. I just wake up and then the dark is scary. It's the dark is scary and dark mirrors are terrifying to me. No, but I in college had paralyzing paralyzation.
Sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. That's what it's called. Yeah. All of the time.
Did you?
Constantly. At least like freshman year.
Oh
like
my
I would
God.
be, and I would literally, I used to sleep with a blanket over my head, especially when I would just be taking naps during the day a lot because college, you know. So like, especially then. So I would literally like,
if you're not taking naps during college, you're on drugs.
It's like I'd be laying down, open my eyes, see the blanket and like not be able to move a damn thing.
That's fucking terrifying.
And it's like, I don't know if my eyes were actually open or not.
Oh my God.
Hard to say, but I had it a lot.
That's very
and I would just keep trying to like move my arm.
Oh my God.
Like it's terrifying to like be like, I'm paralyzed.
How long would that happen?
Sometimes extensive periods of time. Like sometimes it would be like quick, like, 10 to 30 seconds, but sometimes it felt like long, like at least like over like minutes or something where I was just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now?
So how is that watching Haunting of Hill House for you? Because Nell has sleep paralysis.
Right. Yeah. No, it felt like that.
Oh, that's so fucking scary.
And then the other one is something I used to get as a kid. I don't even know if I've ever told you this.
Tell me. I can't wait. Because I love dreams. I'm with you. I think they're super interesting.
I mean, some of them, like, there's plenty of dreams that I don't need to tell you about.
No, I'm
only going to tell you the ones that are like,
course.
Ooh, that's interesting. I can still hear the sound to this day, and it weirds me out. But like, it would just be like no circumstance really or environment was particular, but it would be like my mom coming and talk to me. But when she would open her mouth, it would go, yeah.
That is the fucking most terrifying thing
and
ever.
It would happen a lot.
That's really fucking scary.
I know.
So that,
and I think it would even maybe start with a word or two. It would be like, I love you, I love you, and I would be like,
that's really scary.
And it was always my mom, and I would always try to like work my brain really hard to like make her say words. Like I'd be like, no, make it words. And what's even weirder is I swear to fucking God that there is an apartment by me that plays something that sounds exactly like that. Like they do either like chanting or something.
Oh,
I hear it out
God.
my window sometimes.
In Santa Monica.
Yeah. Like for
Oh
real.
my
Like not when I'm sleeping or
God.
like anything. Like sometimes I'll just like hear it out the window. And then one time I happened to like be outside and I was like, I feel like it's coming from that apartment, like in my building. Like that's just like the front. And I was like, do they do chanting? Like what's
my
happening up there? But
God,
it sounds
that's
just like that.
so
And it's like just
scary.
from a distance of like,
That's
I know. And I was like, are they demon shit?
That's
Like, is
so
there some,
fucking scary.
are people doing things with demons up there?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yes. And you brought them from Philly.
And I started it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually in charge.
Yeah.
This is all a dream.
This is all a dream. And Kim is the demon leader. Okay. So where do we leave off? He realizes that he may have had a dream about his dad,
right.
talking to him about Lydia. Now we cut to them out in a big field and they're gathering old wood. So like they're picking up like a salvageable 2x4. Like it looks like, this is like an old property. So it looks like people, were building things at various points in the century and then they kind of rotted or whatever. But the dad is like understandably trying to salvage stuff and there's this salvageable 2x4. But it's too long for one person to carry. So they are both carrying it. And the dad is like, what?
I was like, so maybe not like a 2x4, more like
yeah.
2x10.
2x10. Well, no, 2x4 actually refers to just the
the other way.
the
of
other
it.
ways.
Got you.
We knew
I
what
know
we
what
were
you're
saying.
talking
Yeah. 2x4. Did you know that it's not actually 2x4 though? My dad blew
I was like,
my
it doesn't
fucking
look
mind.
2x4.
My dad blew my fucking
Definitely
mind.
not 2.
Yeah, he goes, it's a 2x4, but that isn't the exact measurement. So if you are using a 2x4 and you use that as a measurement, all of your measurements are off.
Fascinating.
That's stupid.
Well,
that is
I
infuriating.
feel like a lot of measurements in America are dumb pants.
But if you say a 2-inch by 4-inch board, I would like it
wouldn't
to
it
be
be that?
2 inches by 4 inches.
Makes
Anyway,
sense.
so the dad's like, do you want to talk about what you saw online? And the kid's like, nope. And
yes, you do.
Yeah,
Please,
I would like
could
to hear
you?
it. And the kid's like, la, 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 la. Like, I don't want to hear it. So the dad's like, okay, I won't push. And then they like fall into some mud. Like there's like a marshy part of the wood and they start like playing in the mud. Like they get playful. They're cute. Like I like watching their relationship. Now we're back in the barn and the kid is like, Dad, did you ever like look at that kind of stuff? And the dad's like, yeah, it's natural for you to want to see what men and women do together. And he's like, no, Dad, no, that's not what I looked at. And the dad's like, what did you look at? And he was like, it was like violent stuff. And he's like, what did you see? And he's like, did you see someone killed? And the kid's like, yeah. And he's like, what did you see? And he was like, I don't know. I think it was maybe the news or something, but I saw a guy and he was getting his head chopped off.
Oh, God. Oh,
and he was trying to scream, but he couldn't. And the dad has the wrong reaction, but the exact reaction that I felt in my heart, where he just goes, God damn it. Like he's so angry that his kid saw that, like was exposed to it. And both Eric and I were like, that was the wrong move, parent. Like
yeah.
his reaction was understandable, but he totally made the kid kind of like recoil again. Then he redeems himself because he's like, kind of takes a deep breath and he's like, the world is a sick place and your mom and I and all parents just want to protect you from it. And the kid's like, Mom was crying and sad. And she said that she was sad because now I knew the world was bad. And the dad kind of again takes a deep breath and is like, she's not lying. And the kid's like, do you lie? And he's like, all the time. And he's like, so wait, it's okay for you to lie, but it's not okay for me to lie? And he's like, yep, that's about right. And he's like, what do you lie about? And he's like, we lie to you that we're not scared. We lie to you that we know everything's going to be okay. We lie to you that we feel strong enough to protect you. We lie about a lot of things. And I was just like, oh, God. Having kids sounds so hard. That like really got me. And the kid was like really appreciative and said like, can this be the beginning of like no bullshit? And the dad like lets him say bullshit. And he's like, yeah. And so now it cuts to sort of an extenuation of the scene where the dad's up on the roof and the kid is like scootering around underneath. And he's like, what else have you lied about? And he's like, remember that invention you made that was a machine that fed the dog automatically? That sucked. It didn't work. The dog hated it. I told you were really clever, but you weren't. That thing sucked. And the kid was just like, ha! Like he just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And then it made me wonder what my parents lied about. They definitely lied about wanting to go to swim meets. That's for sure. I learned that like 5 years ago.
That they didn't want to go?
That they hated every second of it, and it was the bane of their fucking existence. That it was the worst. Yeah, they still went. My dad would sometimes man the grill. My mom would time, and I was just like, and apparently they were just like fucking miserable the whole time. Aww. And I didn't talk to them at all because I had my friends. I wasn't going to talk to my parents, so they were literally just like watching me for a total of 2.5 minutes maybe in the pool, and the rest of the time I was hanging out with my friends, and they were timing strangers' kids or making strangers hot dogs.
Oh, you have good parents.
They were nice. But they definitely lied about liking my swim meets. So now they're both upstairs and they are caulking the broken window by the looking chair, fixing like how it was broken. Mm-hmm. And that's where the kid is like, no bullshit, Dad. Are you really going to sell this place? And the dad looks at him and he's like, how did you know? And he's like, you have to tell me. And he's like, I'm hoping to not sell it. So like he doesn't plan on flipping it. He did buy it himself and he wants to keep it. Mm. Now we don't really know why like that's a thing.
Right.
But he now knows like that's something else his dad lied about, and his dad has other motives than what we previously thought.
Interesting.
Yeah. All of a sudden they hear a clang and they both look from the window towards the stairs. And they walk down the stairs to see if someone came in. Unarmed, I wrote. And they hear a loud thump. And it sounds like it's coming from the basement where the furnace is. Now you have a total of 3 points you can get here. Does the dad go down? Does he let the kid? And do you go down?
The dad goes down but tells him to wait there.
Okay.
And I mean, I gotta check it out, I guess.
You can add something to the going down, like if you want to.
I mean, I'm gonna bring things with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you said the dad goes down, he tells the kid to wait, and you also go down?
Mm-hmm. I'll arm myself.
Okay.
Oh, triple ding. Bow, bow, bow.
So the kid says, let's go see. And the dad says, you should go outside. And the kid says, no, I want to go see. And then the dad is about to go down when he goes, do you feel that? The heat's on. And remember, the furnace was broken. Mm-hmm. So he goes down to the basement by himself, but the kid is, on the 13 side of 12 and follows him. So when you got a point, because did he let the kid go down? He said not to go down. The kid did, but it's fine. So the furnace is now working. Now the dad kind of just looks at the kid and says, you know what? Let's go out for lunch. Let's go to the pizza rather than waiting for the pizza to come to us. And he says, go upstairs and wash up. So the kid goes all the way upstairs to the bedroom floor. The dad goes upstairs to the first floor, the entrance floor, and he puts his hand near a vent that's coming out of the bottom of the staircase. And he puts his hand there and it's fucking hot, like really hot air. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he hears the kid say, Dad? And he says, hold on a second. He goes, Dad. And the kid is at the top of the stairs and he's terrified. And he's looking at the looking chair and he just says, her.
Oh my God.
The dad comes up and the back of the chair is to them. So all they can see is that someone is sitting in the chair.
Oh my God.
And all they see is the arm of someone sitting in the chair.
Oh my God.
What does dad do?
Oh my God.
What does the kid do and what do you do? So here's what I'm going to say. Why don't you say what the dad does first and then I'm going to give you a clue about something.
Okay. Okay. I think the dad is like in dad mode and is like needs to take care of business and protect his son. So
Okay.
he's going to go up to the chair
Okay.
and find out who the fuck is sitting in their chair in their house.
I'm going to give you your first point.
Woo!
Okay. Now the clue I'm going to give you for this is, because I don't think that you would be able to get it. The kid uses something that we all always have on us to determine something about the person sitting in the chair.
Okay. The kid uses his phone to maybe video and or take a picture, but we'll say maybe look through video to see if it shows up in a video or not, to be like, is it a ghost?
Okay. I'll let you know if you got a point for that after you say what you would do.
I run away, never go back, sell the house.
That will be 2 more dings for you. So that is 3 dings. Kim, you are killing it on this haunty tale. So here's why I gave you a clue. I had to change some storytelling because at the very, very beginning of the movie, the dad says, what are the rules about his phone? And his mom laughs and said, are you kidding me? He doesn't get a phone. He has 0 phone privileges. But then at this point, he pulls out his phone and the dad goes, what the? And I can't tell if he's saying what the in that the kid snuck his own phone away from his mom.
Right.
Or he kind of like pickpocketed his dad's phone.
Gotcha.
That's unclear. So that's why I was like, there's no way for me to tell this story that Kim would get to that because I'm not even clear where he got the phone.
What was going on, yeah.
But he holds up, they're standing to the side of the chair and he holds up the phone and doesn't take a picture, just holds it there.
Yeah.
And there's no one sitting in the chair in the
Right.
screen of his phone.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah. So
That's
prior
smart.
to this, the dad walked slowly up to the chair and said, stay there to the kid. Spoiler, the kid never stays when the dad tells him
Right,
to stay.
right.
But the dad is saying, excuse me? Hello? I can see you. She doesn't move. She doesn't respond. So he tells Finn again to go downstairs. Finn does the opposite and walks up exactly to where he is, and that's where he pulls out the phone. And now they're looking directly at her, staring at her. Like, as far as the mic is from our faces, they are staring at her, talking. Like, she's not, is she breathing? Like, is she?
But still behind her?
No,
or-
now
okay.
they've walked around in front of her. So they're between her and the window.
Okay.
And they're just staring at, she's not staring at them. She's kind of staring
Out the window.
downish,
Okay.
but out the window, but like downish, as if her eyes are dead, basically. And they're just like, is she real? She looks up at them and goes, stay! And that is where Eric was like, I have never heard you scream that loud in my entire life. And I was like, this movie is a slow burn, but god damn it if it did not earn its jumps. I lost my shit.
She screams, stay?
I didn't realize she screamed stay until later when the kid tells me that that's what she said. It sounded like she was just screaming.
Right.
So the dad and the kid get into the car and they just drive off. And they drive to the...
I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. That's not the way to make someone stay.
Yeah, that is... We are going to do the opposite of stay.
Yes.
So...
That's not how you get a man.
No, it is not. So...
Next time,
Stay!
next time someone's trying to ghost me, stay.
I think it'll work.
Yeah, I'll try it.
It's great. Wait till the end of the movie. Let's see. So They drive off. She is still in the window staring at them. And then she's walking down the stairs of the front of the house.
Oh, God.
They are driving off as fast as they motherfucking can. Now they're sitting at a pizza shop and we're watching them sitting at a booth in a pizza shop through the window, and the server just brings a pizza up to them and they're just staring straight ahead and like don't even touch it. And I was like, that sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah.
And so they get back into the car after dinner, and I'm genuinely like,
Where are you gonna go?
what are they gonna do? Like, what are you going to do?
There.
Yeah. So they get back in the car. Dad calls mom, and he's like, I'm putting the kid on a bus home. And the kid's like, no, why? And he's telling the mom, he's like, I will go into detail later, but right now all I can tell you is like, it's not working and I can't make the house safe. And the kid is heartbroken. And so the dad is like, but I can't leave. I'm all in. And the kid's like, please, Dad. And he's like, I have to stay. And it's because he like fucking bought this fucking, like, what's he going to do? Which is why you don't flip houses. It might be haunted. So that night he drops the kid off at the neighbor's house, the electrician guy. And there's another kid there, the neighbor kid. And now the two dads are talking on the porch drinking beers. And the neighbor is like, I have a confession to make. I cut the wires. I cut the electricity. And Dad's like, why would you do that? And he's like, I cut them 4 or 5 years ago because even after she died, I kept seeing her looking out the window. I kept seeing her in the window. And things weren't right in my head. I was drinking a lot and I was sleepwalking. And the time that I would see her in the window is when I would wake up at 3:30 in the morning at the foot of her driveway. So he was literally sleepwalking to her house and would wake up at 3:30 in the morning.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And be in front of her house and look up, and she'd be staring at him from the looking chair.
Creepy,
so
creep.
fucking scary. So fucking scary.
God.
And he was just like, this isn't great. I'm
so thankful I don't sleepwalk.
Yeah. I'm not sleeping well. So he was like, but then one time the whole grid in the town, the whole electric grid went down. And that was the first night that I didn't see her in the window and I stopped sleepwalking. So I thought to myself, I don't know if it's this, but maybe she liked the power on. So I cut it. And he's like, now it's back on. And I woke up at 3:30 this morning at the foot of your driveway.
No.
And the dad's like, well, I spent a lot of money on this house, so we're going to have to figure something out. And the neighbor is like, you can't keep doing this. And the dad's like, I've got to fix it up because I'm trying to get my wife back.
Oh.
And the neighbor's like, I don't know if that's the best way to get your wife back. Yeah. And the dad says, well, no one fills out a death certificate haunted house. And I was like, but they do fill it out as like scared to death, heart stopped, and we don't really know why their heart stopped. Maybe it stopped because they saw a ghost. I don't know. All I'm just saying is we can't use death certificate records to determine whether or not someone died from a haunting. That's all I'm saying. So the neighbor's like, listen, I'm just saying that no matter what you fix in that house, you're just making her stronger. Like, as the house deteriorates, so does her spirit. And if you build it back up, so will her spirit. He doesn't say those exact words, but that's what he's saying. Yeah. So now the next day, the dad is putting the kid on the bus. He gets on the bus and then the dad drives off. Dad pulls up to the house and he goes in and he's looking around, like looking around for where the fuck is this bitch? Did I make, like, what's going on? Takes his heart meds. Doesn't see anything. Everything seems fine. He's standing on the A ladder and he's spackling the ceiling and he hears something. So he gets down off the ladder and he just closes the basement door.
Oh, God.
Now we're out in the barn, and the top level of a barn where all the hay is supposed to be, that you would then throw out the top window. Like it's like those big giant doors and you throw the hay out from the top. He's throwing like old scrap wood out and walking back and forth. And then at one point when he walks back towards the window, there's his kid. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, how did you even get here? And he's like, I just got off the bus as soon as you drove away. And he's like, how did you get back here? And he's like, I walked.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, I don't want to go back to New York. And the dad's like super pissed. And he's like, well, I mean, if you're fucking here, are you going to help then? And the kid's like, I am helping. I'm the lookout. And he's like, you're back on the first bus to New York City tomorrow. Like, this is not okay. And you didn't get away with anything. I'm putting you back on the bus. But now they're spackling the ceiling and the dad is standing on the A ladder and the kid is laying on the ground under the ladder, just like with his hands behind his head, just kind of talking to him. And the dad says, I know what you're thinking. I'm an asshole. And the kid says, you have no idea what I'm thinking. And he's like, okay, well, what are you thinking then? He's like, I'm not thinking you're an asshole. I'm thinking you're my favorite person.
Oh.
And the kid's like, and all I know is that my favorite person doesn't want me around.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And so the dad gets down off the A ladder and he's like, I do want you around. I love you so fucking much. He was like, I'm not proud of myself, but I got scared and I just was so afraid of fucking you up. And I felt like I'd rather be missed than fuck you up. And then his phone rings and it's mom. And he's like, Bev, I can explain. And she goes, no, it's okay. I was just checking in. I hadn't heard from you since the kid got home.
What? 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 No, what?
And so the dad says, what? 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 And she's like, I mean, he's been pretty quiet since he got home, so I was just checking in. Kim, what does dad do?
Oh, God.
What do you do?
What? No. No.
He is sitting next to the kid.
No. No. I hate this so much.
What do you do? What does dad do?
Okay. I have so many feelings. All right. I need to somehow separate myself from this possible child / possible demon.
Right.
And communicate with my ex-wife, who I want to be my wife again, while she is also away from her possible demon child.
Uh-huh.
And tell her what's going on.
Okay.
She's going to think I'm crazy. I understand. Mm-hmm. But I need to make sure she's safe.
Yes. Is that you or dad?
Me.
Okay. What does dad do?
Oh, I'm still talking. Stop interrupting me,
Sorry.
Ketrin.
I'm Lady Midday.
I also would like to protect whichever one is my real son.
Who can be sure?
I will work first on the wife. Therefore, I have a teammate
Oh, good one.
to aid me in this feat. He, oh dear God.
They're both sitting. I just want to paint the picture. They're both sitting on the floor next to each other. And the kid is not looking at him. He's just kind of hunched over now.
Right.
Not unconscious or anything. Just
Yeah. No, I didn't think unconscious.
Right. I realized when I said like hunched over that was like dead face.
No, I just thought you meant teenage sitting. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's exactly what I mean. He's teenage sitting. That is exactly what I mean. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way to figure it out? I don't think he does this, but it would be interesting if he like puts the kid in the phone again, like that. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea.
What does he do?
I kind of want to do that now too.
What?
Try to take a picture of the kid.
Oh, okay.
I changed mine. I like that.
Okay.
Because that way I figure out if this one's real or not.
Okay. And the dad.
And then figure out the wife later.
Yeah.
And the dad, okay, I think maybe it'd be good for him to, he would try to, he's going to pretend like things are fine and normal.
Okay.
I think.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to show out your cards.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Maybe trying to make this demon/child ? Leave the house with him.
Okay.
Leave the property.
Okay. All right.
Which I assume is not what he does, since you're so intrigued by the idea of it.
Okay.
But
So
that's all the answers I have.
You get 0 points.
Fuck you.
But.
Those were my phone idea?
It was a good idea. I had to think, will it keep you alive? That's the issue. So I'll tell you what he actually does.
All right.
He does play it cool in that he's like, can I talk to Finn?
Mm-hmm.
And so mom puts her Finn on the phone, and he's like, hey, Dad. And he's like, how you doing? And he's like, you sound weird. Are you okay? And he's like, yep, just miss you. And he's like, okay, well, I'm here. And the dad's like, I love you. And he's like, okay. He's 13 again.
Mm-hmm.
And he picks up the phone, staring straight ahead. And then he turns to other Finn. And Finn is slowly turning to him with a creepy smile on his face.
Oh, God.
And Dad gets up and runs. And all of a sudden it's Lydia saying, stay!
Aww.
Dad runs to the car. The keys are inside.
No.
And he's like, fuck. So he runs to the neighbor's house. It's daytime. He knocks on the neighbor's door. The neighbor kid opens the door and looks at him really scared. And he's like, hi. And he's like, hey, is your dad home? And he's like, yeah. And the dad comes out and he seems kind of drunk and like offers him a beer. And the dad is like telling him what happened. And the neighbor's just like, you want to grab a beer? And he's like, I don't have time for that. And he's like, I need your help. And the neighbor just goes, oh, I wish I could help you, man. And he's like, why? Why can't you help me? And he's like, I wish I could help you, but in order to do that, you would have had to have left the house. And he's like, what? And he's like, you would have had to have left. But you never left! And breaks a bottle over his head, except he doesn't, because Dad wakes up on the stairs of his own house.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, fuck! So he runs up the stairs, grabs his keys,
Right.
runs out the door into his car, looks up at the looking chair window. It's himself banging on the window.
No!
He looks to the passenger seat. It's Lydia.
No.
He's back in the house.
No.
At the window, pounding on it, looking at an empty car.
No.
Yes.
No.
So he runs out of the house again when he's stopped by his wife coming out going, where? Hey, Simon, what is wrong with you? What is going on? And he's like, Bev, what does he do? What do you do?
Where is he? Or where are they right now?
He's
They're
trying to run
outside?
back to the car.
But are they outside?
They're outside the house. Yeah.
And she's just coming out of nowhere?
Yeah. It's like she basically said, she was like, I've been looking for you. Like, I just got here. Like, the kid said you were fucking weird.
He fucking knocks her out and runs to the car. And so do I.
Okay. I'm going to give you 1 point because that was good. Definitely you would have gotten some information from that. That's for sure. But what he says is he turns to her and he says, I know it's not you.
Huh.
She kind of smiles and she says, you can leave. Go ahead. Leave. Go beg for another loan. Go flip another house. Leave your wife and kid living in that hellhole in New York City. You can leave. Go ahead. And he says, so what is my option? I stay here with you? And she says, nope. I get to be free. She disappears. Light on the porch turns on. He goes in and says, I'll stay. but I have to finish the job first. Talking to himself.
Mm-mm.
Now we see that time is passing and he's fixing up the house.
Right.
The house is getting nice. He's putting beautiful white linen sheets on all the beds. It's starting to look like a really lived in house. Now he's on the phone with mom, sitting in a looking chair next to the looking chair. So he's set up another chair next to the looking chair, and it's just on him, on his face.
Right.
And the mom is like, I saw the house. The kid had pictures. And she's like, I know what you were doing. I know that this was the kind of house I always talked about wanting.
And the horses.
Yeah. And I really love that you had the thought. But, and he just says, okay. As he's talking, the camera is zooming out, and we see that it zooms out to reveal he's sitting in the dark in a chair by the window next to the looking chair next to Lydia. He hangs up with mom. They turn to each other, and he says, okay. Cut to
He's going to stay.
the neighbor sleepwalking down the road. He wakes up, staring at the house. He looks up at the window. It's Dad, sitting in the chair, staring out the window, dead.
Oh my God.
So now mom and kid drive up to the house, and she's basically like, I know it's weird that it's ours now, you know, after the funeral and everything. She's like, but don't worry, like, we'll sell it. Nobody expects us to have to live here. And the kid's like, I want to go in though. And the mom's like, okay. I think they like had to go in for something. I'm sure there was like some personal, you know, there's probably a reason that you now own a house and have to go into it. So they go in, and the kid is like bracing himself. They walk in, and there are flowers all over the house, like just in vases. Like it just looks really lived in. He goes up to his room, and the magic eye is replaced by like a hot girl poster. Because remember, he said like the toys are too young.
Right.
And he was like, what am I supposed to do? Like put booby posters on your wall or whatever. But then also all of his toys are still set up. So it's like 13-year-old 12 and 12-year-old 12 next to each other.
Cute.
And the mom's like kind of looking around the house, and she's just like in awe. I mean, how could you not be in awe of this house? It just looks perfect and beautiful. So they're walking around the room. One of the things that the kid says is like, he told me that it was the chance of like an asteroid hitting Earth, that his heart condition would kill him. And the mom's like, I mean, an asteroid has to hit somewhere. He didn't lie. It's just that asteroid has to hit.
It happened.
And the kid sees that one of his toys is holding a note. And he opens the note, and it says, hey, bucko. It's a good house again if you want it. I haven't left. I never will. Love, Dad. Question number 7. Do they stay? Do you stay?
I think they stay.
Okay.
And
I know this is a hard question for you because you've said like you do not want to live in a haunted house. Where I'm like, what kind of haunting?
but I'm like, if it's only haunted by someone I like,
Yeah.
I really don't want to though.
Okay. I'm giving you 2 points just because like that is what they do. And either way, I don't think it's going to affect whether you live or die.
Okay.
So the mom comes into the room. He hides the note real quick. And he's like, it doesn't feel bad in here like I thought it would. And she's like, I know. It really doesn't. And then it just cuts to these scenes of like the serene pond and the mom sitting on the porch and the kid playing with the neighbor kid. And it's a voiceover of the kid saying, do you miss the city? And the mom saying, not at all. Now we cut to a bird's eye view of the city of New York. And it's a voiceover. And it's the dad saying, where would you go? And Lydia saying, free. And at that moment, a woman looks up at the camera from the road, and it's Lydia. Lydia in the city.
Get it, girl.
Hey, get that cosmopolitan. So now we're back at the house, and Mom is tucking the kid into sleep, and they both hear thumping as they go to sleep. Mom turns out the light, leaves the door open a little bit, and the kid puts his hand to the wall and says, "Good night, Dad." And then we just hear thump, thump. Credits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was I really liked it. Like, he set her free, and so now the house is
he's just haunting the house
Yeah.
that his family lives in now.
Yeah.
Hey.
So you let that process. I'm going to count up your points.
Great.
Hey guys, this is Kat.
And Kim.
And we just want to let you know about our brand new Patreon we just launched. You can find us at www.kimandkatstayalive.com.
And you'll also find merch on there. Check out our merch store and follow us on social media at KKSAM Podcast. We love you.
Bye. Okay.
What'd I get?
Bernsey, you got 13 out of 24.
All right.
And mainly, you know where it fucked you is because everybody is alive except for the dad.
Oh, interesting.
And you said you said the dad was dead, so you got that right. And you said the neighbor kid was alive, but then you switched dead or alive for almost everybody else.
Yeah.
So
I hate those dead or alive. There's
I know.
no
Whereas
context.
I feel like I thrive on those dead or alives. Yeah.
You're making that up.
I am, and I'm
you have no idea
rolling
if you
the
thrive
dice.
on that.
Rolling
You have
the
literally
dice.
no idea if you thrive. There's no information behind that makes that a true statement.
Taking these skills to Vegas. So yeah, that was The Witch in the Window.
That's sweet.
It was a real like slow burn, but like it had some good. It didn't have like a ton of jump scares,
right.
But it was just like it was a slow burn. I don't know how else to say it. It was, and the acting was nice.
Oh, good. Was it made recently?
Was for Shudder. It was made in 2017 or 18, and it is only for Shudder, exclusive for Shudder. So I liked it. It was great. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Do you want to?
Feels like there's supposed to be things that we do, and I'm like, I kind of recently I've been like,
know.
are there supposed to be more things we say or do? But
I think it's mainly
guess
that
not.
we've just had like an influx of business that we've
had
had
business,
to cover.
yeah, and now we don't have any.
We don't have any business right now. We're in a.
If anyone wants to send us some business,
we're ready to do your business. Any business you have for us?
I've got my briefcase ready to go.
Oh, Kim, you should carry a briefcase. That would be funny.
I guess that's it. Thank you guys for listening. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, rating, and reviewing on iTunes.
We're also,
and please share us with your friends and share us on social media. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, we also are starting to put up our Kim and Kat Stay Alive home games on Patreon.
Right.
We are about to record another postmortem video that I think will be out by the time that you are listening to this. So if you want to watch that, sign up for our Patreon. And yeah, go do that.
Check out our merch if you want.
Yeah. We need to figure out how to make
stuff on
shot
there.
glasses. Don't worry. I'm going to figure out how to get shot glasses to you guys.
Yes.
Both show. This has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe. So until next week,
Stay alive.
stay alive.
Put a ghost in me.
I'm done.